So, Cassie, we saw these tornadoes that ripped through North Texas yesterday. We knew that we were going to have a pretty bad day, you know, weather-wise yesterday. You were here all night for all of that. Was this as bad as we were expecting?
You know what, honestly, we were expecting a lot more coverage of the storms. We were at least fortunate enough that this was more isolated. When you look at these images, though, I mean, obviously there were so many people impacted that were not as fortunate. But at least we did not get as much hail as what we were expecting. These looked like really big hail producers. We were expecting up to baseball-sized hail. There was baseball-sized hail, but that impacted a lot less people than what it certainly could have, what there was the potential for.
You know, quirks in the atmosphere almost, because all of the ingredients were there for it. It's just a matter of what does Mother Nature do on that day and where.
Exactly. That's the thing. It was very isolated.
Well, we know that one of the hardest hit areas where a lot of that weather did happen was in Palo Pinto County, where officials say that many homes and businesses, as you know from seeing all the footage and the radar out there, were either heavily damaged or destroyed. We're also getting new information coming in quickly today about injuries and the full scope of the storm. Our Chris Lawrence is on the ground in Mineral Wells today. That's about an hour west of Fort Worth to anchor our coverage there. Chris, can you just kind of walk us through what you're seeing out there?
Yeah, Jason, Cassie, we're about less than a mile from Highway 180, right off Van Story Road. And I got to tell you, I mean, seeing all of this damage firsthand really gives you a better appreciation for what these people survived. You can see all the debris here. These homes are all two-story homes, and the wind just sheared off the second story of the home and completely pulled the wall right out from under it. And I can tell you, I've been all through here. All of them are pretty much the same way. I want you to take a look at this. Right now, National Weather Service has investigators here on the scene right now. They consider about 28 indicators, like the type of building, the size of the tree, and then each of those indicators is rated along 8 degrees of damage. They plug all that into a computer, and that's how they come up with the wind speed of 136 to 165 miles per hour, or an EF-3. This afternoon, we're also learning a lot more about how many people were hurt in the storm. Here in Mineral Wells, officials confirmed that 5 people were injured as the tornado moved through, and paramedics rushed at least 2 of them to a hospital nearby. That's actually very fortunate given the fact that EF-2 and EF-3s make up about 1/4 of all the tornado-related fatalities. So to have no fatalities here is truly a blessing. Richard Solomon was on the scene shortly after it touched down. He has been back out here all day to give us a look at some of the cleanup and recovery efforts that are now underway. I want to go to him now live. Richard, give us an idea of where you are and what you're seeing right now.
Well, Chris, I mean, you'll see everything behind me. This pretty much explains what is happening in so many parts of the city right now, including where we're at. This was some of the damage. We're getting a better look at some of the damage caused by that EF-3 tornado that tore through this area yesterday. I mean, just look at this. What you'll see behind me right now, crews are working to clear out some of the debris. I mean, debris is scattered all across this place. It looks like it was just tossed in any direction that the tornado wanted to toss it into. And what's crazy is the further down you look, the more damage you see, Chris. But most importantly, like you said, I want to emphasize it again, no one died, and everyone, is accounted for. Officials are still asking people to stay out of these areas. Obvious reasons, they're too dangerous. I mean, we saw nails just spewed all over the place. Right now, Encore crews, they are working to make sure that things aren't hazardous. City officials say they want people to stay out and until they are able to make sure areas are safe. Once they move away some of this debris, that's when folks can start flushing into these areas again. But I want to make note of this. This, Chris, this was an Army barrack. We spoke with the owner, Macy Nix. She and her family own this. They own several rental properties throughout town. I mean, just look at this. This has been here for 40, maybe 60 years almost. And now it was just leveled by that tornado. And she told us the plan for these buildings were to turn them into housing eventually. Take a listen.
These were vacant buildings. They're historic buildings, but they were vacant, and I'm glad that it was not, for me, buildings that people were in.
And again, she told me she and her family owned several properties across the city. There were so many people displaced in this storm. They were able to put some of those folks in some of the houses that they have until they are able to figure out a better plan of what's next. But obviously, that is going to be a while, and this community has a long road ahead. But we do know from city officials there will be another curfew put in place tonight. That curfew will start at 8 p.m. and run through 6 in the morning. So we'll stay out here, we'll bring you the latest coverage, and we'll see you back out here at 6. But now, Chris, I want to send it back to you.
Okay, and Richard, I just want to piggyback and follow up on something you just mentioned. All the agencies that are stepping up to help these folks. The Red Cross is here. They have set up a center at the Mineral Wells First Baptist Church. It can be whether you're displaced or maybe you weren't displaced, but you've been out here all day, you're dead tired, you've been working, trying to clear debris all day. They have a place for you to rest and recover. They are also accepting donations up the road at the Mineral Wells, what is it? It's the Center of Life, the Mineral Wells Center of Life. So if you have anything that you could donate that can help people kind of get back on their feet a little bit faster and you're in the area, please drop it off at the Mineral Wells Center of Life. We'll be out here on the scene. We'll have more reports coming up here in the 5 and 6 o'clock hour. For now, Jason, I'll send it back to you.
Chris, thank you. That damage is just stunning that you're standing in and that you and Richard both showed us out there. It is remarkable, though, what a lot of warning and these live broadcasts yesterday can do as far as saving lives and keeping any loss of life from happening. Just really remarkable considering what we're seeing out there. Really appreciate it. We'll look for more later.